Hello everyone, Emily here. I am going to make a book cover for my book. This is the book I'm reading. It does have a jacket, but I am going to measure it like it does not have a jacket. And it will fit right here on the inside, and I'll sew it together a pair on the top. And that way you can take it off this book, put it on another book, and it will fit nice and snug. So, I love this book. So I opened the book up and laid it flat. I did not take the cover off because if you have a book, you might not have a cover. So I measured it all the way across. And of course, everybody's book might be the different width. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to measure the inside, and I'm just going to add it to what I've already measured. Measure the other side too. And so now I know how long. And if it's a little bit longer, I'm not going to stress because I'll just make sure it goes on the inside. I do want the length of it to be perfect. So I think if you start long-wise, it will be easier to make sure that the length is better. So I'm going to start with yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and crochet a chain for how many I need. I did end up crocheting 70 to equal.
Alrighty, so I did 70
my
and
cover to be.
Now I am just going to chain two because I'm going to do double crochets.
You'll know that I
love
lots of color.
Now
I like to mix
all you
my
have
color,
to do is do double crochets until you get
I'm going to start off with double crochets all the way across. Now you could do it with any pattern you want. And I'll probably change my pattern up. So I'm looking here, it's about 7 1/4 inches is how long I'm going to make it. But of course I'm just going to keep putting it on my book because I don't want it to be too long. But we are going to sew the bottom parts from the inside and the outside together to hold it in the book, like the book cover is. So it's a really good book. I haven't finished it yet. My son bought me a whole bunch of these, so I really am excited to get done with this book and move on to the next one. Watched my shows, I love color. So I might change my color. I might do some V stitches. I don't know. I might just do all double crochets, but we're going to keep going until you get to where you're the point of your book, the top to the bottom. So keep on going and just enjoy, and go ahead and change your stitches if you want to, okay? Pretty. So you can see here it looks like I'm using Easter colors. I did double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and then I did one row of single crochets in the purple, and then I did a couple more double and single of the yellow, and then I decided, you know what, I am going to just use some pink because it kind of matches. It is Eastery, but it's very pretty. The colors match and they don't match at the same time. But I am doing my most favorite stitch, which is the moss stitch, and I'm doing it a little different because I'm chaining 2 and then going to the next one. So your ends, you're going to have to pay attention to your ends, okay? So what I did is I did go to the end and I chained 2, and that was my chain 2, and then I just went into the next stitch and did a double crochet. Or single crochet, excuse me. So you just need to watch your ends. It's not that hard to keep your ends straight, and even if they're not perfect, we are going to go ahead and put a border on there. So I'm just when I first started, I did a single crochet, skipped one, did a single crochet, skipped one all the way to the end. And if I had 2 left at the end, I just did 2 single crochets. I can just make it work. So this, of course, is one of my most favorite stitches. So I thought, I'm going to throw this in here because this is one of my most favorite stitches. I don't think I really want to do the whole thing in this, but I really love this stitch. So I'm here at the end. So I'm always going to make sure that I do a single crochet in the end, in the very last stitch. And I'm going to chain 1. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and chain 1 here, or do one single crochet right here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and do one more because I just want to make sure that my ends stay straight. I only chained 1, and now I'm ready to just go ahead and start my repeat. I figured if I did 2 chains, it was going to make it a little bit bulky. So I'm going to chain 2. Just keep going back and forth until I get it as far as I want to. And like I say, I didn't say that you needed to do an even or an odd number here. It's just because I just like to just take off and do what I want to do. And I usually don't have anything planned. But I really like these colors. And of course, if you wanted to do all yours in one color, that would be fine. Maybe some stripes. But I am pretty happy with my colors. Aren't they pretty? They kind of stick out. I really like that little row of purple there too. So I did quite a bit of that pink. And then up here I did this stitch. And you know what? I don't even know what it's called. But I believe it's the first time I've ever done it. And it's nice and it's close together. So I'm really excited. I'm going to have to make something with this. So on the edges I just did double crochets. And I tried to do another one right next to it to keep it straight, and I chained 1. Now I skipped 1 at the beginning and went to the next one, and I'm doing like a half double crochet. I'm not finishing my double crochets. I'm only going through the first bottom ones, and I have 3 of them. So then I'm going to grab my yarn, go all the way through, and chain 1. So you can see, oh wow, that's pretty quick. So you can see that I'm going through 2 skeins, and then I'm pulling it through, going through 2 skeins, and then I take the yarn and go through all of them. So it's not really, it's really close together, the 3 are, but I don't finish the double crochet. But like I said, you can do any stitch you want to, whatever your favorite stitch is. This would be really pretty if you did a mosaic for the outside of your project. That would be beautiful too. Okay, so I'm here. I'm done. It's on my book. I like the way it looks. I'm going to open it up and looky there. So what I'm going to do, you're going to do this to both sides. I am going to sew the top and the bottom. I am going to leave it on my book as I sew it. I'm right there on that edge. This edge is a lot straighter. I'm just going to do a single crochet down that edge first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and do our single crochet all the way down the inside of that book, get to the end. I'm going to tie it off, and that way it's going to be nice and neat and clean. Now I'm going to grab my plastic needle, and I'm going to use that yellow yarn, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start. I mean, you don't have to do a lot of measuring because I already have it how I want it. So I'm just going to start sewing the top. Just regular sew, go into 2 loops on this side and then go through two loops in the back. I mean, I know I'm pretty retro, but I decided to use the same color. So, and I don't know if Dean Arn Coots books are a lot of the same sizes, but I have a few of them because he sees them and he buys them for me, and I haven't gotten to them for a long time, so this is my first one I'm reading. And so this will go pretty quick. You can make more book covers for any books that you need. This would be great for school. Heidi, I hope this is what you wanted when you said you needed a book cover. If it's not, let me know. These remind me of when I was in school and everybody had those ones that were like nylons. I've seen them at Walmart for sale, but I never had one. We could never afford those. Always wanted a book cover. So down here, I think I did a pretty good job of figuring out how much I needed because I'm pulling it and it's not too loose, so it's going to stay on my book. Now remember, your books, if you picked it up and closed it all the way backwards and not forwards, this would slip right off so that you could wash it. So you could use this yarn, which is, I think I used Red Heart, Mainstay. I used a little bit of all the yarns I have. Or if you wanted, you could use 100% cotton, but I don't think it would have the stretch and the give that this does, but it might wash up better. But this yarn, if it didn't give you the give that you wanted, like maybe you washed it and all of a sudden, it's too big, I would just stick it in the dryer, let it, see if it will shrink up a little bit. So, but yep, so you're just going to do this for both sides. And I love all my colors because I love color. I would have used variegated yarn if I would have had any. My granddaughter just brought me some variegated yarn. I'm going to make some out of it, but it's too late for this project. Great. I'm really happy with it. I hope the colors aren't turning anybody off. We're all a little bit different. So I did my single crochet there, which is making it nice and even. So the front, I want to know the front of my book. Well, of course, I guess if you're holding it and it opens sides the front of your book, you'd open it from the right to the left. But I have these little decals that I thought that I could put on, and I wouldn't sew them on. I think I would use hot glue, but I have these little paws. They would really be really cute because I'm in love with my cats, and I think they're adorable. Or this shiny happy face. Or I have all these little buttons I bought quite a while ago and I didn't know what I was going to do with them. They would be really fun to put on there because I'm a fidgeter. Like my toes never stop moving. I could put those on there and fidget with those a little bit. But there's just so much you could do with this. So this is my book cover. Really happy with it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will be back soon. Thank you. Bye.